Welcome back to the Matrix. You're not just in the Matrix, you are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today we got ourselves a banger daily market news analysis. What is up? What is up? How's everyone feeling out of 10? Let me know down in the comments down below. Make sure you guys are spamming the like button, hitting the share so other people can spam that like button. Let's get into it, y'all. All right, the top story is while everyone is panicking, developers, the Fed is expected to be cutting rates. So it's rumored, breaking news, Fred Waller says interest rates cuts could begin as early as July. Will this kick off alt season? Will this kick off the real deal? Will this stop the bleeding, Ski? Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. So listen, I don't anticipate us to actually start cutting in July, but I do anticipate things to be starting to getting the ball rolling in July. And what more could we ask for? You know what I'm saying? Like, what can we ask for? All right, BlackRock. It is rumored. Rumor has it, ooh. Rumor has it, ooh. BlackRock Bitcoin ETF now holds 3.25% of the total Bitcoin supply, hitting 69 million plus Bitcoin. Who are you selling your crypto to, ladies and gentlemen? When we're all panicking, we're all freaking out. Because Bitcoin was at 105 yesterday, and today it was at 102. When we're all panicking, when Bitcoin's been holding above 100,000 for now 42 days, who, ladies and gentlemen, who are you selling your Bitcoin to? I ask of thee. Verily, verily, I say unto you, who are you selling your crypto to? You let me know down in the comments. Who are you selling it to? You let me know. All right. $37 trillion. That is officially what the national debt is. $37 trillion. From the time that it went from 1 trillion to 37 trillion, Bitcoin during that same time went from $1 to $100,000. This is what Bitcoin fixes. This is the entire point of cryptocurrency. If you zoom out on a long enough time frame and you're betting against the US dollar, you're betting when you buy Bitcoin, when you buy cryptocurrency, you are placing a bet that the United States government, the Chinese government, the European Union will continue to print more money. And ladies and gentlemen, for me, bet number one, if I could make any bet in the entire world, if you're like Ski, you gotta bet the fate of humanity that this will happen. The bet number one that I would make is tomorrow the sun will rise. And bet number two would be that governments will continue to print more money. That is what I would be betting. All right. So the Arizona bill has been passed by the Senate. Bill HB 2324, reviewed after reconsolidation, passes the Senate 16-14 vote. The bill allows the state to create a digital asset reserve using seized digital assets. So this is a big deal. This is separate of the Bitcoin strategic reserve that they've already done, from my understanding, and I could be wrong on that. Fact check me on that. But this is a separate bill that Arizona has put to the floor. And then we got Elon. We talked about this yesterday, but Elon will launch his own app for investing and for payments. This was the game from the start, Jimbo. This was always the game. Okay. And with that, let's get into the charts and into the coffee. Get yourself a nice cup of coffee. Relax. Put your feet on some ground, right? Everybody likes to put your feet on the ground. You hear me? Put your feet on the ground. All right, let me grab my live here. We're going to hide all this. Boom. There we go. All right. As of the time of recording, it is June 20th, 2025. The stock market was closed on the 19th because of Juneteenth. As of right now, Bitcoin is still making a higher high, or a higher low, excuse me. And we did not make a higher high. And we talked about this a little bit on in the morning, and then unfortunately I had to abruptly end because of live stream technical difficulties, and I left you guys on a cliffhanger, and I'm very sorry about that. The end is near for Bitcoin, and I really only think it's going to go to 138K. I only think it's going to go to $207,000 this cycle. That's my prediction. That's been my prediction since we were at 16K. Okay, so the end is near, but the last 6 months is when things are going to get very, very crazy. And I say that because we do have a bearish divergence on a super macro time frame. So this is, we can see how high the RSI got over here. We went higher, and this is lower. This is very, very macro. This is going to take months to play out. This will probably take until 2026, 2027 to play out. Most likely it's going to be early 2026. But I do think that Bitcoin goes to 138K, and that's probably it. That's probably good night, Charlene. We'll come back to get that CME gap down at 92K at that point. Do I think that we're going to get it right now? No, I don't. There's too much fear in the market. There's too many people that are freaking out in the market. So do I think that we're going to get it right now? No, I don't. I don't think so. But the play to me is not Bitcoin unless you're holding for 10, 20 years. Because I really only think there's like 40% gains to 100% gains in Bitcoin. The stock market will do that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that that's the play. So the end is near for Bitcoin in that there's not a lot of gains left to be had. But what is left to be had, that is when the true euphoria happens. Let's switch it over to Ethereum. And basically, my worst case scenario, what I talked about the other day, has happened. And I said I had some limit orders down here at 2,300. I said if we were to break from this and make a lower low, we're going to probably come back down here and touch and make a double bottom at 23.28. That looks like it's definitely in play. So I have some limit orders here for Ethereum. I do think that that is highly probable that Ethereum touches right in here and then bounces to the top of the range. But I think that this is going to be a bear trap again. I do not think that Ethereum is going to break below this, especially when we look on the 5-hour chart. We're getting pretty low on the RSI. I would like to see the 3-hour chart. Yeah, pretty low as well. So I don't think, is Ethereum done? Is it pack it up, boys? Is it see you in 4 years? No. But is there a high probability, my God, that Ethereum comes down here, touches 23.28? Yes, I think that that is highly probable, but this might be it here. Like, it's not the time to be greedy, in my opinion. Everyone wants red days. Everyone wants pullbacks. Everyone wants to buy the dip until the dip actually happens. Okay. Let's take a look at XRP, which is holding up pretty nicely relatively compared to everything else. My God, my computer. What is happening right now? It's still at the trend, actually. It's sitting at $2.12. Same thing for XRP, though. Worst case scenario, $1.80. I have my orders. I have my limit orders there. To me, that's probably as good as it's going to get if we're lucky, blessed, and highly favored. I don't know if we are, though. You guys let me know. Are you lucky, blessed, highly favored? I don't know. But that is the market update for the day. Other than that, listen, I'm going to put a nice bow on it. I still think we're within range, and I still think that we're okay. We're going to be all right, man. So find your fundamental projects with Good tokenomics, low to no inflation, and DCA. Now is the time. Smoke them if you got it. Obviously, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. If you're new here, make sure you guys subscribe, hit that bell icon so you never miss a video. And if you're watching this live, let's get into you guys' questions, comments, and concerns. All right. So that's the market update. Are we cooked? No, we're not cooked. Let me get into your guys' questions, comments, and concerns. There's a lot of concerns. But Ski, we were at 105K yesterday, and now we're at 102. Big D, thank you for coming a member. Yes, Savage. Edward says, first again. Let's go, yes, Savage. I'm going to popcorn and get me some pop for this Friday Night Live. GG's. Only Edward. Went on a shopping spree midday. Let's go. We here. Hi. We get an alt season broski. I think so. Smash that like button. Ski got some sun today. I did get, bro, I was out in the sun all day. I don't know if y'all saw my picture, but I got old Betsy. She's ready to go to the farm. You know how I know we're okay? You know how I know we're okay? The SCI. That is the best indicator known to man. What is the SCI? The ski camping indicator. I'm taking old Betsy to the farm, and I'm bush hogging everything. So I was outside in the sun all day. I took my kids to the pool this morning, and then I went and worked on the tractor, got that bush hog ready to go. Ski's going camping. Your audio is so low. Is it? Is it low for everybody? Testing. Is that better? Sorry about that, guys. Dang. That should be better. No? It's not low for everybody. Let me turn it up just a little bit. How about that? How about now? Because I'm up right now. There we go. That should be good. Yes, yes. Sorry about that, guys. I took one of my microphones off. Can we compound monthly if we stake Solnic long term? You can compound, but it would have to be manually. So yes, you could compound it. Yes. So you could take your 2 years. Let's say you stake 100,000 Solnic, and you're gonna get off of 2 years. You're gonna get 30,000 Solnic. You could restake your 100,000 plus your 30,000, and that would be a compound. Yes, it would just have to be manual. That fixed it. It's good on my YouTube. I have the volume maxed out. You quiet today, much better. Thank you. It's because I took my other microphone off. Whatever reason, it's weird settings, guys. I packed up my microphone because I'm ready to live stream at the farm if need be. All right. Toshi, it's okay. All right, let's get into your guys' questions, comments, and concerns. I saw a link. Are we out of the bull flag now? I wouldn't say so. We're just testing the bottom of the range. It just was a little bit tighter and a little bit cleaner. All right, let's start off with Link. Then we'll get into your guys' questions, comments, concerns. I didn't want to abandon you guys. I have abandoned my child. I have abandoned my child. Enough before they see us. One of the best movies ever, by the way. 70 y'all got that. 70 y'all got that. All right, let's start off with Link. Can I change my 90 days to 2 years? After the 90 day. Once you stake it, it is locked. All right. Yeah, I don't mind Link. Link looks pretty good to me. I anticipate this to hold right in here. And this to make a macro higher low. So 7.57 billion. We're getting pretty dang close right now to as good as it's going to get. Well, where else is he streaming? He isn't seeing these. Cap, bro. I am seeing these. But I'm live on YouTube. And I'd prefer you watch me there. Because guess what? My other account just got banned. And guess what? Never have I ever had one stinking video ever flagged on other platforms. Never. Not one. You know why? Because YouTube doesn't have a hater algorithm that allows one individual to get on their high horse and mass report. Anyways, I digress. Hey, Ski. What's up, Meg? There will be blood is the best. Did the wake up show figure out? Okay, so let me explain what happened with that. That was my fault. I take responsibility for that. There was technical. I'm using a different software because I pride myself. What I would like to do, let me back up a second. What I want and what my goal is to produce a high quality show for you guys. Like a real deal crypto show every day. And I try to do that. So that's my goal. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to have a highly produced, really well done crypto show that I do. That's the goal. Okay. Now, in that, I'm constantly tweaking things and tinkering and trying to make things better. And I found a way to have a highly produced show, but then having Alex on, I used a website, a software, that it had an issue with the audio. So here's my promise to you guys. Either A, it will get figured out. I will find a workaround. Or B, we'll go back to the old system when I stream with Alex. But I'm going to find a workaround eventually. It's just, I don't know if I'm going to find a workaround before next Friday. But you will never have to experience that audio again because I will make sure that we do a test recording before we go live. All right, so that's my promise to you. That's on me. It wasn't Alex's mic. It wasn't any of that. It was the software that we were using. There was something wrong with it. So I'm sorry for those of you that were watching this morning and got a bad experience. But just understand my intention, and I know the intentions are paved. The path to hell is paved on good intentions. I get that, but I take accountability, take responsibility. But what I'm trying to do is produce a highly produced, good value show. A lot of you guys are OGs, and you really like the TA and all that. But a lot of people don't like TA, so I'm trying to bring value to everyone. What's your opinion on Bitcoin dominance? How much for a portfolio review with targets small under 5K? Text or phone call is fine. I do my meetings on the Telegram. You can get it's 2 Solana if you want to do a call with a review that comes with lifetime access to my Telegram, my course, a consultation, plus a portfolio review and exit strategy. I do offer a yearly plan if you guys want to do monthly. That is half the price. Do you still believe we get an alt season? Yes, I do. I just read somewhere. I actually just tweeted it. I just tweeted this to the group. Right here. Let me pull this up. Like, it's always darkest before dawn, y'all. I've been in this game for over a decade. I can tell you, every time before we rip, it feels like this. Never has it felt good before we rip. Never. I've never seen it feel good before we pop. Never. All right, but just in, Bloomberg raises approval odds on spot XRP, Dogecoin, and Cardano ETFs to 90. My God, I'm sorry, microphone. To 90%. 90%. Do you know what that means? First of all, the spot ETFs are way more impactful than the leverage ETFs. But these are some big chains. XRP, Dogecoin, Cardano. And you know what that's going to do? Because someone asked me about Bitcoin dominance. Guess what that's going to do? It's going to bring it down. And you know what happens when Bitcoin dominance is going to be brought down? Rising tides shall float all, not some, all ships. All right. So in the short term, I don't love that we took this out. It looks like we have a little bit longer. That's what it looks like. But as long as this still holds, we could classify it as a double top. Longing Bitcoin at 103. I am long Bitcoin at 103. Chainlink price prediction, $38. 78, 178. Those are my Chainlink price prediction. What's your thoughts on low market cap projects? You have to bet on the jockey, not the horse. That's my thoughts. So on a low market cap, you have to bet on the jockey, not the horse. What does that mean? Who's the head of it? Who's running the show? What is the team doing? How much faith do you have in the team? It almost matters very little what a low market cap is doing or what they're trying to do. What matters more is the leader had their feet to the fire? Is their leader going to keep forging forward? Is the leader going to not lose hope and not abandon his community or her community? Are they going to keep developing even when times get tough? Most is no. Most, when times get tough, when their feet is to the fire, they fold. So that's my biggest thing on low market caps. It's obviously way more reward potential, but the risk is way higher. But it really doesn't matter at that much what they're trying to do or what they've done. It matters about the team, and it matters about the head of the team. What is he or she doing? Was it Calvin? It was not Calvin. What happened today? There was some technical issues that will be fixed and that will never happen again. All right, sorry for anyone who experienced the bad technical difficulties this morning. Do you also have analysis of the NASDAQ or indices? Yes, I pay attention a lot to NASDAQ, the S&P 500, and I pay attention to the to gold, silver. Is it a good time to buy ZBCN? No, it's not. You know why? Because it did a 9x in 45 days after sitting at the same price for a year. No. Jeff, thanks for the heart. HB, thanks for the tiny diny, brother. I appreciate you. Cardano, $2, $4, $6, $8. How fast do you think the spot ETF would move those cryptos? Listen, I think very fast, especially. All right, let's think about like what Bitcoin did when the spot ETFs really started happening. Okay, let's think about this logically. Let's think about this mathematically. Excuse me. Where's the cream? I was gone all day. All right. By the Monday stream, the cream will be on this laptop, or there will be a giveaway. My promise to you, the cream will be on this stream, or I will do a giveaway. All right. So let's think about this logically, practically, because I like to do things in a very practical manner. The Bitcoin ETF was approved, and Bitcoin has basically went on a straight line since then. So right here is where the first spot Bitcoin ETF got approved, was right here. We had a dip, and here's the end of the story from that moment. You know, from the first dip from the spot ETF, Bitcoin, which is, I believe, the 5th largest asset in the world, is up a 1.6x. Now, where this is important with ADA, with XRP, with Dogecoin, is they are, it's not like Dogecoin, XRP, ADA is smaller than Bitcoin, right? They're significantly smaller. Like, they're a fraction of the price. So meaning, let's just look at ADA, for example, is a $20 billion market cap. And Bitcoin is $2 trillion. That is 1/100th of the price of the market cap that Bitcoin is. What does that mean? It's gonna take 1/100th of the liquidity that is inflowing into Cardano with the spot Bitcoin ETFs, or the spot ETFs, excuse me, to move it. So to bring it full circle, do I think it's going to take long? No, I don't. Because these are significantly smaller than Bitcoin. And Bitcoin did a 1.6x. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, let's... A 1.6x, how many days was this, by the way? I mean, we could go to here, 1.9x, in less than a year. But if you go all the way over here, 500 days, 1.6x. So do I think it's going to be long after that? No, I don't. Because it's not going to take nearly the amount of money to move it. And everyone keeps telling me, like, alt season's canceled. It's like, okay, bro, like, where? Because you think they're going to stop at XRP? Do you think they're going to stop at Dogecoin? Like, they're making a Dogecoin ETF. Do you understand? A Dogecoin ETF. What does Dogecoin do? Somebody tell me. We know Dogecoin is a meme. I'm not mad at that. I think it's going to have good returns. But this idea that institutions aren't buying altcoins, where? Who told you that? Who told you that? Thank you for the $4.99 donation, brother. I appreciate you. You savage. The cream. Rise to the top. Thanks for all you do for us. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Check Circle ETF. Not ETF, sorry. Are you asking me to look at the chart Circle? Is that what you're asking? Make sure you guys drop a follow. Spam the like button, hit the share so other people can do the same. I appreciate all your guys' support. Make sure you follow me everywhere because my account already got banned. Listen, I'm grateful for all the exposure that TikTok allows. A brand new account, 12 days later, over 2,000 followers, and I've gotten more views in the last 11 days than I got on the other account. I'm grateful for that. But check it out. On other platforms, I've never had a video ever that have ever, not once, not twice, not thrice, never have I had a video taken down on any other accounts. Never. Does that make them better? I don't know. You be the judge. All right, let's check out Circle. CR. What's up, Sona community? What's up, brother? What's up, brother? Good to see ya. Make sure you follow this account. I don't know if you're following this account, bro. This is vertical. This is erect. This is erect. You know what happens after erect? It's time to go to sleep. Okay, good night. Listen, not enough chart data for me to give you analysis on this, but I don't like buying stuff that's just in a straight line up. What's happening to Bitcoin? What's happening to Bitcoin is it's been above $100,000 for the past 42 days. That's what's happening. Shouldn't the NASDAQ correct soon? I think so. Listen, soon in the NASDAQ for our retail brain is not in the same thing at all, right? Like in our brain, we think soon is like tomorrow, next week, next month maybe. The NASDAQ does not move like that. Soon to the NASDAQ is like 2028, 2029. So if you're asking me, has the NASDAQ topped relatively? Yes. Let's just look at the Dow Jones. Has the Dow Jones topped relatively? Yes, I think so. But is it going to hang out here for the next like 2-3 years? Probably. And then it's going to correct. Flaccid. Says, I can see with enough Solnic stake, I could pay my bills with the yield. Brother, that is the point of the BYOB movement. That's what it's all about, baby. Be your own bank. Operate like the big brother operates. Yes. 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 That's the point. That's what we're trying to create here. We're trying to create passive income so that you can do what you want to do. For me, when I had financial freedom, I'm going to be honest with you guys. There's an idea. Maybe you're not like me. Maybe you're different. When I had the freedom to work when I want to work on what I wanted to work on, guess what I choose? I choose to work harder because I have the freedom to do what I want to do. It's not that I want to sit around and lay in a hammock and no. It's just, it's like now do what you're supposed to do. Do what you're put on this earth to do. That's what the BYOB movement is all about. That's why I'm so bullish on Solnic. By the way, I believe we have, I don't know, what is the update? What's the update? How many we got staked? Let's refresh it. 23 million Solnic is now staked. That is over 2% of the total supply. 2.3% of the total supply. Really like 2.4, 2.5% of the total supply. Most of it is locked up for 2 years. Guess what? The more that happens, the more supply control there's going to be, and the more people that are pursuing financial freedom. It's a win-win-win-win-win. Coffee, thanks for becoming a member, you savage, brother. Jeff, thank you for becoming a member. Yes, savage. I appreciate you, brother. If we take out April lows, you think bear market? Let's cross that bridge when we get there. I don't think we're taking out April lows. No, like, listen, here's what's happening. Here's what's happening while retail is scared. Like, I'm just going to put it in a nutshell for you. Retail is scared, worried about bear market. Retail is scared, worrying about selling their crypto before it's too late. Here's what's happening. Bloomberg. Approval odds for spot, XRP, Dogecoin, and Cardano ETFs. 90%. That's what's happening. You know what that's going to do to Bitcoin dominance? Do you know what that's going to do to Bitcoin dominance? Come on now. Can you explain lending versus staking? Yes. Staking, you are putting up your, it is like a CD. Everyone know what a CD is? Okay, this is a good question. Okay. Stake equals CD. What is a CD? Like if you go to a bank, this used to be big back in like the 90s when you could actually make money on your money at the banks and they wouldn't give you like 0.5% or 1%. But you could basically give a certificate of deposit, right? And they would give you 5-7%. And the longer you locked it up, the more yield you're going to get, right? So that's what staking is. Staking is a certificate of deposit, just like at a bank. Lending, though, now you're operating like a bank. How do banks make money? Well, they take the CD and they lend it out 10 different times. They charge him 1%, 2%, 1%, 3%, right? That's what lending is. Now you're operating like a bank, truly. And you can do that with crypto. You can lend your crypto out and earn an APY on it. A CD is a certificate of deposit, just like at a bank. That's what staking is. And lending, you're operating like a bank. 50K likes, let's go! Doge or VeChain, which you think will perform better? I think they're both going to perform very strong. However, I think VeChain is going to perform stronger. How risky is staking? Everything has risks. Driving to work, there's risk. There's always risk. Nothing is risk-free. The most safest place in the world is prison. That's the most secure place on earth, is prison. I don't want security. I want freedom. You hear me? The main risk would be pulling out your, not obliging to your word. That's going to be the main risk. Meaning, if you say you're going to stake it for a year and you pull it out after a month, you're going to pay a penalty. That's going to be the main risk, is not sticking to your word. The other main risk would be if you connected to a phishing staking website, not a real one. That would be a big risk. A third risk to staking would be it's the same thing in crypto, like giving your keys out, stuff like that. I'm totally out completely. Good. Thank you. I want freedom too. Let's go. That's what it's about. Aave is good for that. Exactly. Mina. Okay, I don't like that this took out this low. Not great. Let's see where we're at. What's the inflation on this? Nothing. Well, I would just say this is going to retrace then. I'm going to give you a micro retrace and a macro retrace. Micro is 116. Macro is 350. Thank you for the 199 donation, brother. I appreciate you, you savage. Wait for it. Words with a clock as an A. Okay, Richard says, what happens when people don't pay back what they lend? Do they have to go knock on their door and pay us up? Tattooed on knuckles. No! That's the beautiful part about the blockchain. So a lot of it is over collateralized, right? And what would be the purpose of that? Most loans in crypto are over collateralized. Meaning, like, if I want to borrow 1 Bitcoin, let's say I want to borrow 1 Bitcoin, right? I'm going to need to put up 1.2 Bitcoin to get that loan. Most of the time. Not always, but a lot of times that's what it looks like. Why is it like this? And what would be the benefit of the person borrowing the money? Why would a person even benefit from that? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because you don't pay taxes. How do you avoid paying taxes? If you don't sell your Bitcoin, if you don't sell your crypto, you don't pay taxes. So lending or borrowing from your crypto allows you to use it to get more business ventures, to get more cash flowing assets, to get you more crypto. So you can borrow against your crypto just the same way Elon Musk bought X, Twitter. Did he work a job, contribute to his 401k? No. He took up his shares of Tesla and got a loan against his shares of Tesla. He did not sell. He didn't save his money. He didn't do any of that. He took a loan against his assets and bought another asset. So that's the benefit of borrowing. You're not paying taxes. That's not a taxable event. So a lot of it is over collateralized. And what happens is there is no option to not pay back because it's operated not off of trust. That's the old way. It operates off of verification. And it operates off of the blockchain, baby. So in the beginning, there's going to be stipulations that are set up, just like you got a lawyer. That's what the blockchain is. It's a lawyer. But it's verified by two parties on the blockchain. So instead of getting a lawyer and making sure you're good, that's what the blockchain does. Both parties are going to agree. If certain stipulations are not met, this will be liquidated. And the money will go back to the person who lent it out. That's the blockchain. That's the beautiful. You don't need a third party. That's the beauty of the blockchain. Right? There is no I'm good for it, bro. Don't worry. No, I know you're good for it. I know you're good for it. I don't need to know you. I don't need to trust you. That's the point of the blockchain. Verification, not trust. That's the old way. The old way is trust. Hopefully Jimmy pays me back. Hopefully I get this 10% yield from Jimmy that I lent him out my last paycheck. And hopefully I don't have to go banging on his door with my tattooed knuckles. Jimmy, where's my money, Jimmy? That's the old way. That's the trust system. This is not the trust system. This is the blockchain, baby. And the blockchain operates off of verification, not off of trust. 0% off of trust, 100% off of verification. There is no credit on the blockchain. What is credit? That's a trust system. It shows you how trustworthy they are. This guy pays it back. He's got good credit. He's good for it. He's got good credit. He pays his debts. A Lannister pays his debts. We know it's 798. He pays his debts. That's trust. There is no trust in the blockchain. There is no trust in crypto. There's no honor amongst thieves. It's verification. That's the point. That's the point. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. You love it. Damn, y'all didn't know I came out to be teacher ski today. Why I haven't got a rate cut? Because they're trying like hell not to do it. They're trying like hell not to stimulate the economy. I think it's a political thing at this point. But listen, it will happen sooner or later. All right, Sensei Ski. My brother Ski, you still thinking Q4 Euphoria? Ask Bloomberg. Yes. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Never before it has broken out. Never before we pop. Does it feel good? Does it feel? Are you feeling it, Mr. Krabs? Are you feeling it, Mr. Krabs? Never does it feel good before we pop. It always feels like this. You know why? Because it's always darkest before dawn. So the answer to the question, is Euphoria still in Q4? Yes. Yes. I already answered your question. if, I'm going to tell you like my grandpa used to tell me. He says, if we take out April lows, you think bear market. I'm going to tell you like my grandpa told me about if. He said, son, if the dog did not stop to take a shit, he would have caught the rabbit. If pigs had wings, they could fly. I don't live in the land of if, in the land of nod and odd. I live in the land of reality, data, facts. I lost hope. Good. The beating shall continue until morale is improved. That's what it feels like. All hope must be lost before we can go. You know why? You think BlackRock's trying to make you rich? You think they're trying to make me rich? No. Classroom, please turn to page 47 in your books. See that Sonic will 100x. Sonic's my number one 100x play, baby. Thank you for the $4.99 donation. I appreciate you. Yes, savage. Is BlackRock still buying? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Listen, I'm going to tell you guys a story. When I was in SEER school. SEER school is it's a survival school. They teach you how to be a prisoner of war. They teach you how to survive, escape, resist, evade, or escape. Survive, evade, resist, and escape. That's what it stands for, right? Teaches you how not to be captured. And then once you get captured, how to be interrogated. All that stuff, all that good stuff, right? It's a great school. When I was in SEER school, they were playing, and like I remember being there with my peers at the beginning. Everybody laughing, joking. You see a lot of hot shots. All this and that. And like who you would expect to break versus who did or did not break is not always the same. And I remember this. I remember they were playing over the intercom. It was like 30, 40 degrees. It's pissing rain. We were soaking wet. We were in pajamas. They were hitting us, all this crazy stuff, right? And they're playing over the intercom, blasting it. All hope is lost. All hope is lost. And they played that shit for 3 days straight. All hope is lost. I promise you on my mama, I never lost hope. You can't break me. I cannot be broken. That happened years ago. Everybody broke. A lot of people that I did not expect to lose hope, they did. It's natural. It's a human behavior. But you're not going to break me. I cannot be broken. It happened years ago. All right. And on that note, I leave you. Don't lose hope. Sometimes it's all you got. Never lose hope. Continue to DCA into your fundamental projects. It never feels good. It never feels good before we rip. All right? It is always darkest before the dawn. Do not let the apex predators ruin you. Rob you of your generational wealth. Do not make decisions out of fear or emotions. And above all, follow your boy for more. All right? Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. Peace, love, prosperity. God first. Above all, God bless.